Hi, this is Nick Julian, Sports Information Director at Finger Lakes Community College. I'm joined today by Josh Kierst, head men's lacrosse coach, for today's episode of The Lakers Blueprint.
Very excited about being back here at Finger Lakes. One of the biggest things, transition from high school to the college level, is going to be recruitment and dealing with that shot clock. We have a pretty good idea, Coach and I, how to handle that, but until we actually get into games and figure out how we're going to clear the ball, possess the ball with that shot clock in the back of our minds, it's going to be unique, and we look forward to that challenge. I played 2 years here, probably the greatest 2 years of my life, playing for Finger Lakes. I enjoyed it. I was a co-captain my second year. We had a lot of good experience, a lot of fun playing here, and that really playing here got me into coaching. When I graduated college, I was dating my girlfriend then, wife now. Her brother was playing baseball, and her mother-in-law asked me, or my mother-in-law now asked me, how do we get him away from this sport? So I introduced him to lacrosse and started out refereeing games, and then went into coaching. I coached modified at Waterloo, modified lacrosse, and transitioned to then the assistant coach for varsity, and applied here, and I was gracious enough to get hired here at Finger Lakes. I thought a lot about my primary goals. It'd be easy to say win 2 games. It'd be easy to say finish the season. As you know, you look back on previous seasons, and it's been tough here. But I have bigger dreams and goals than that. I want to have a winning season right off the bat. Coach and I have been talking about that a lot. Having that winning season, finishing all of our games, exploring other opponents to play, having at least one big trip, over the weekend, maybe go somewhere, play a couple games there, and see where our season goes. But absolutely, right out of the gate, have a winning season and bring back that history and that tradition that needs to come back to Finger Lakes. That's one thing that Coach and I are pretty hungry about. We're adamant about that. We want to have a cohesive unit, a family, a true family here, and I think that starts with team meetings, maybe some team study halls, team dinners, some fundraising activities to bring everybody together, and maybe do some outside stuff, not even dealing with lacrosse. You pick up basketball games, maybe going to watch Syracuse play, or maybe even Hobart play a game or two, and go out to dinner after that and kind of hang out with everybody and see everybody outside of lacrosse and how they interact with each other, and build that bond, that family atmosphere that we really want for our student athletes here. What drives me to do the job every day is the love of the sport. I truly believe that the sport of lacrosse is the healing game. It is a game that you can't just fake. You have to put everything, your heart and soul, into it. Whether you're a coach or an athlete, you got to put everything into it. And that is one thing that I know that Coach and I strive to do, is outwork everybody. We're going to outwork every coach. We're going to outwork every athlete out there. We're going to make sure our athletes can do the same. We might not be able to call the right play every time, or call a timeout at the right exact time, but we're going to definitely put everything we got into it. The driving factor that I have, the motivating factor that I have, is always wanting to give the best product we can, not only to the school, but to our athletes as well, because I feel like they deserve it. They deserve everything I got, everything Coach has. They deserve our best, and we're going to give that day in and day out. Whether it's practice, whether it's a scrimmage, definitely the games. We're going to give everything we have. That's another thing that Coach and I have been talking about a lot between him and I. He has some crazy ambitions, which I love. He wants to have home helmets and away helmets. He wants chrome green for away. I think that'd be great. I think that would really drive kids to want to strive to do their best here. Obviously, a championship is something that Coach and I absolutely want for our school. We look through the gymnasium every time we come in here and we see banners up, and why can't we have a banner up? Well, the answer is we're going to have a banner up. We're going to bring, like I said, starting fall of this year, we're bringing back history, we're bringing back tradition to Finger Lakes, and we're bringing back that lacrosse program full force. I'm very excited to be a part of it.
So Coach, we've reached the rapid fire Q&A section, and we'll kick it off with your favorite drill to run in practice.
One of my favorite drills to run is the box cutting drill. It's a passing and catching drill. I kind of want to use that to warm up and get rid of the standard line drills. Watch a lot of coaches go into that and do that. My fellow head coach at the varsity level love that drill. I like to introduce two balls during that drill. Really test the guys. Anything with man up, man down is another drill I like to do. Get the kids uncomfortable defensively, and then you get that offense to try to feel like they got the game. They're going to win, whatever. And then all of a sudden, one of my, the long poles make a great play and shuts the offense down. And that usually that's how we like to end practice, is shut down that offense.
What's one word to describe your coaching style?
Intense, fiery. I gave you 2 words there, Nick. I apologize, but I'm pretty intense. You're not, like I said, you're not going to find a guy that's going to have more passion than me, who's driven more than me. I'm going to give you everything I got every day. And the only thing I expect in return is to give me that fire and that passion in return.
Who was your favorite lacrosse player growing up?
Man, unfortunately, I didn't start playing until I got here at Finger Lakes. I didn't really follow anybody. I got a couple buddies. I'm going to give him a shout out. Aaron Bates was one of my favorite guys to watch. He was a scrappy guy. He'd do everything on the field, to play goalie, to midi, to long pole. Not a famous guy, but one of my best friends, Aaron Bates, hell of a lacrosse player. Here's to you, buddy.
What's the best advice you'd give to a young lacrosse player?
Pick up the stick any day you can. Get outside, whether it's playing catch, wall ball, anything you can to get that stick in your hand. And if it's a crappy day outside, find lacrosse, watch lacrosse. As long as you can be around the game. Oh, and don't forget the weight room. That's very important. Leg day. Got that good foundation.
What would you say is the most challenging part of coaching?
Probably being away from my family would be the most challenging. I have a wonderful wife, Ashley. She is very understanding. This is my third life, you could say, between home, my work, and here. She is very understanding. She's very supportive, and I wouldn't be here. I would not be here, and this is absolute truth, without her and her support. I have three beautiful children, and without their support, I wouldn't be here. So being away from family is very hard, but also it's very rewarding when you come home and you tell her about the game, and the ups and the downs, and she's very intent to listen to that. And like I said, Ashley, I wouldn't be here without you.
Can you talk about your most memorable game moment?
I thought about that question a lot, Nick, when I read your questions, and I have a couple. First was, again, in the modified level, coaching this great team I had. It was our last game to go undefeated. We're playing Bloomfield. Our bus broke down. We're about an hour late to the game. We get to the game. The head coach comes to me and says, hey, Coach, you want to play this game, right? I'm like, Coach, you have no idea I want to play this game. This is, not saying anything against you, but this is going to be our winning season, our undefeated season. He's like, well, I got no refs. And I was a little bummed, but we figured it out. We actually had some volunteer parents ref for us, and we went down 3-0 pretty quick. And I remember calling a timeout and got in a huddle, very tight huddle, and kind of poured my heart out to the kids and said, hey, this right here is our defining moment, whether we win or we lose. And it starts right now with this face-off. And I talked to one of my players, great player as well, and I said, hey, it all starts with you. You get the face-off, create the fast break. You're going to look to dish it down low because they're all going to slide to you. And that's how we're going to start winning that game. And we ended up winning by double digits. Another game that's near and dear to the heart is the first time we beat Penn Yan. If you know Section 5 lacrosse, you know Penn Yan. Great program, great coach and Coach Hobart, but the first year again beating them, we were up by 1 at half. Kids were nervous and excited on the sidelines, and I remember just trying to have that calming effect in the huddle and just tell them, hey, this is the time we're going to make some history. Do you want to come with me on this journey? And they all said, yeah, let's go. And we ended up beating Penn Yan by 4 or 5. That was another great event in my life as a head coach.
In your opinion, what are the top 3 qualities of a great coach?
Determination, organization, and heart. And those are just 3 things I whipped off. There's obviously many other things to being a great head coach, but you got to have drive. And that just doesn't mean the X's and O's during the game. It's preparing your practices, recruiting your kids, bonding with your kids, your student athletes, and having that family atmosphere. Heart, you gotta have heart to do this. You really do. Determination and grit, you gotta have all that because it's a long season. But in the end, it's all worth it. Whether you win or lose, anytime you're with your family, it's a great time.
Favorite sports movie?
I actually had to look up the name of this. I didn't want to botch it. Crooked Arrows. It's a lacrosse movie. I actually got to take my oldest son to watch it, and we spent that day together watching that movie and talking about it and what it meant for us about the game of lacrosse and coming down from the creator, and it's a healing game and what lacrosse is all about.
Who is your coaching idol?
Man, my coaching idol would probably be, and he never coached me, but he taught me a lot about the game of lacrosse, and that would be Coach Matt Morin, my fellow varsity lacrosse coach. Him and I journeyed together at Waterloo. He got me the head coaching job for modified, and then he let me, he promoted me to the assistant coach at the varsity level. Matt is a very knowledgeable man when it comes to lacrosse.
Perfect. Thank you for your time, Coach.
Thank you, Nick.